Today I was contemplating on what it is that I should speak about. And I actually was in a meeting. I'm in a um, mindful meditation teacher certification course, and we meet with our peer groups every so often. And um, when I was meeting with them, there were a few things that were coming up. Just to hold the sacredness of that space. I won't go into details, but the common thing was finding or feeling safe here to um and so it took me back to why I'm not sure what just happened, and I'm not sure if it's starting all over. So just give me a few. For those who are into astrology, um, what just happened is not a surprise as we're entering into Mercury retrograde. So all of these things that happens, I just actually smile at it. So let me just set myself back up with the screen, and I had my phone here so I can monitor the time and the invite box, just in case folks come in during the talk. Okay, so I'm not sure if it started all over, but that was kind of weird how it just took me off. So let me recenter myself. Um, I was contemplating on what to talk about tonight. And as I was with my peer group, just listening to everybody and even reflecting on the things that I spoke about, this sense of coming back to this space, to our body, to our home base, um, and recognizing that there are areas within the body that may be uncomfortable to be with. Practicing, we can go to other things outside of ourselves for refuge, right? But one of the things that I was really striving to make a point here in this class is how our home can be, like our body can be our inner sanctuary. So usually I prepare for my talks, but today I felt a shift happening where I should kind of talk again about this inner sanctuary in a deeper way and go back to like the basics um, on how to even have this relationship with this body so that it can be for you an inner sanctuary. So that's what I want to talk about tonight and explore the four foundations of meditation, of mindfulness. And hopefully my goal is that you have these foundations to help you explore the depths of your being, um, and able to have more ease with your body, with your experience, with everything that is part of this moment, a moment of experiences within your body, your mind, your feelings, your inner truth. So before we get started, I do want us to sit for about 15 to 20 minutes. And we can start by grounding ourselves And what I've been um, practicing is giving honor to what I feel is sacred to help me find a place of grounding. So, with that being said, I want to take this moment to acknowledge the earth, this beautiful, abundant earth that provides so much for us. And I'm just so grateful for the things that I or many of us may not even be aware of. But for example, the trees that just gives off oxygen. I'm grateful for everything that plays its role in the ecosystem, including ourselves, including those who are working towards um, sustainability, striving to correct what is um, imbalance in this earth, on this earth. So just recognizing the earth, recognizing where we are living, and just giving honor to that. I want to just give so much gratification towards my ancestors, the names that I know, and the names I do not know, and grateful for their courage, their bravery, even their mistakes, and the ability to learn from both the good and the bad of their presence. And I give so much thanks for them because without them, I wouldn't be here. And I want to acknowledge the teachers of this practice, all of the teachers who are dedicating their lives to teach this, the teachers that are no longer with us and the teachers that are with us. I thank every single one of you for passing on these tools, these practices, so that we can create this domino effect of less suffering. So I give thanks, so much thanks for that. You may, in this moment, call in or honor or acknowledge whatever it is you feel that you need to honor and acknowledge before we go into silence. So I'll just offer simple, short guidance, as I would love for you to have your own experience as this is part of the practice. So I won't be guiding the entire meditation. But wherever you are at this very moment, um, can begin to find yourself in a comfortable position, whether you're seated, laying down, um, sitting on a chair, or sitting on the floor or a mat. Just find yourself feeling ease within the body, making the spine erect but not too rigid, just like alertness. What I like to do is kind of take some rolls, shoulder rolls, and I like to roll them back because often I'm in front of the computer and typing away, and I just want to kind of roll, go in the opposite direction of what the shoulders is used to being in. So maybe you want to do that. Maybe you feel moved to roll your shoulders back or give yourself some head circles. Just really finding this moment to get real comfortable into this space. You can soften your gaze or close your eyes completely. And we're just scanning through the body and just noticing what the body is feeling like. Nothing, you don't have to go to in details, but just noticing what's happening, noticing what you're sitting on, noticing your feet, just noticing the little details of the body. And perhaps now taking some deep, full breaths in and out. Maybe another full breath in and out. And then after, just allow the breath to come into its natural state. And you can also use this moment to um, notice the breath where it's most noticeable, where it feels good to you. And we can use this our breath, as a form of anchoring us back to our present self, the present moment. And there's other anchors that we can use. We can also use the feeling tones. So if you maybe want to rub your hands, place your hands on your chest and another one over your stomach, just using the feeling of the body to kind of help anchor you. Or maybe it's this soft, gentle rub with the thumb over your thigh, or softly caressing your hands. Just finding what can bring you back here and also give you a sense of comfort. Oftentimes during this practice, we may notice our thoughts, and we may notice um, areas of physical tension. And we can, starting with the thoughts, not recognize them as anything bad, but we can make a mental note that we have a thought. And we're using this practice of anchoring us back to the present moment through the breath or through feeling of the body, to come back to ourselves and not allowing ourselves to be driven by the storyline of our mind or the content of our mind. And if we're feeling physical tension and it's unpleasant at the moment, you can bring a sense of a smile to that area, or breathing into that area and just noticing if it changes, if it softens, if it gets more intense, and if you can be with it. And if you can't be with these physical tensions in the body, it's okay to find another anchor. This is your practice, and we want to be more at ease with it. So do what's best for you. Um, so I started the live on IG and just letting everyone here on IG know that we just finished a 20-minute sit. And I just wanted to share the class with you all. And just to remind myself how I have to do better with marketing. There's just so many things going on at once, and I'm just trying to like managing it all. But yes, um, checking in with everyone and want to know how everyone is feeling, if they feel moved to share what they're feeling, like just checking in with yourself. Um, you can, if you don't want to speak it, you can type it in the chat. Same here on IG Live. You can just chat what you're feeling in this present moment and what has been arising for you so far. Good, good, good. So for me, I'll start. I've noticed that for me, I've been feeling the need to be more centered and balanced. Ooh, feeling a release today. I love that. Feeling a release today. Definitely. I was looking at all these different bugs in here. So there was a cricket in my kitchen, some black looking thing up on my ceiling, and a fly. And I was just thinking about how all of us living beings all have a journey, and we're all journeying towards something to um, aspire to, just so many things that's going on within our worlds, our own experience. And yet we still find ways to be connected, whether it's in a physical sense or through technology. There's this sense of interconnection that is just so beautiful that I just can't help but to recognize how we all belong, right? So as I mentioned in the beginning of this, is the title of these classes are is Inner Sanctuary. And so often I've noticed through meeting with different groups, different people, beautiful beings, that it can be sometimes an unpleasant experience, this body, this being with this. So I wanted to go back a little bit because I had to also recognize my journey and how or what were the steps that I took to finally be able to enjoy and love and feel like this body is a refuge, a place that I can go to, and a place that has some inner tools that I can use to help me feel safe and help me feel like this is an inner sanctuary. And so I wanted to go and explore the four foundations of mindfulness. And we've noticed that mindfulness has been a big trend, right? Like it's everywhere. It's on a spiritual level being expressed, and on a secular level, like in corporations, different businesses. People are just recognizing this need of adding mindfulness into their lives, and it's beautiful. So with that being said, and me going back to kind of bringing a source of foundation to my class, Inner Sanctuary, I wanted to give us some guidelines and also like a brief history on mindfulness and how we can, if we're finding it unpleasant to be here in stillness, um, that hopefully these steps can help us um, get to the root of those, of what makes it unpleasant to be with the body. So that's what I want to explore tonight. So thank you for everyone joining here on Instagram and also on Zoom. So mindfulness, um, it comes from the root of Buddhism. And the Buddhists decided to teach this beautiful, powerful, I believe, tool or practice to help alleviate suffering and to help guide us towards freedom and true liberation. And it started in the past, um, very oral, and it was given to like the monks or nuns to just keep passing on these teachings. And the Buddha, or at that time, they were called bhikkhus. And it's also said and mentioned that if you are striving for like liberation, freedom, end of suffering, and just on this spiritual journey, that we all are bhikkhus, right? So I just wanted to put these traditional words in here so we can have a sense of connecting on a spiritual level of what mindfulness is and where it comes from. And mindfulness is actually translated from the Pali word sati. And when we think of meditation, it's also translated as contemplating. So oftentimes we're contemplating or meditating on our moment to moment experiences so that we can have a better understanding of them, so that we can become more of observers rather than reactors. And also understanding how reacting sometimes of certain unpleasant feelings or emotions or sensations can bring us and trap us into suffering, which can be many reasons, one of many reasons why we're unable to feel this body as our inner sanctuary. And even for myself, before this practice, I was someone who was going in and out of the hospital thinking I'm about to have another heart attack. I did not want to be alone with my body because every little feeling was just like, what does this mean? I was just completely like uncomfortable with my body and was feeling a lot of anxiety, a lot of anxiety. And so I was afraid. There was a lot of fear. There was a lot of discomfort. And I just needed someone to be around me all the time. And this practice came to me and it helped me explore or become mindful of these four foundations, which I'm going to share with you. Oh, someone wants to come in, which I want to share with you so that you can use these four foundations to help help you to be more at ease with your moment to moment experience. That's the word that just came to me, at ease. So I just said a handful of things just now, and I just want to like make sure we process that and absorb that. So what are these four foundations that has been taught to us? The fourth foundation of mindfulness is being mindful of the body, being mindful of feeling, being mindful of the mind, and being mindful of Dhamma. And so I want us to go through each of them. And this video also is being recorded both in IG Live and Zoom. So if you feel like you don't have the chance to take notes, it will be up, so don't worry. But let's start with mindfulness of the body. And what does that mean? To recognize and be mindful that this body is the body, right? So, how do we break that down even further? A lot of times we attach ourselves to things. We attach ourselves to body, we attach ourselves to feelings, we attach ourselves to our thoughts, and they, in a sense, become the driver of our experience, of our lives. But what if we were able to detach ourselves from the attachment of these things and to see them for what they are? Would that bring a sense of appreciation? Maybe. Uh, so when we look at this body, for example, uh, we can actually start to think of impermanence. And so, what does that mean? Meaning that it will not stay the same. This body is meant to change. This body can also experience things like physical pain, physical tension in the body. This body can uh, recognizing that we have fingers, nails, hair. Some of us don't have hair. Obviously, depending on your gender, what you're going to have. So, just recognizing all of these different parts of the body, I believe, and so did the practice or Buddha's teaching, believes that you can appreciate each aspect that makes up this one body instead of looking at it as just my body. I look at it as a body as the body. So this body is giving me five fingers. I have eyes, I have nose, I have mouth, and I could just be with that and just sit with it and take moments to appreciate each parts of it. And even if there are moments when we have physical pain within the body, we can also understand that that moment can be here, that moment can also pass away. So it just helps us to recognize more and more that these experiences of the body can just be that moment to moment experiences. And we can understand that there are moments where this is going to be an unsatisfactory thing. The body will change. Think about fitness right now, wellness is really popular, right? And then so many people want to keep this body in shape, which you can, but also recognizing, I've been recognizing how so many people create this aversion to that type of change that we cannot. We cannot pass. It's going to happen. We're going to age. We are going to have some form of wrinkles somewhere, and just being okay with that, being okay that this won't always be the same, and just recognizing what you can appreciate for this moment. Another mouthful of information. So I want us to practicing or meditating on the body and know the body as it really is. So let's find ourselves in a comfortable position, and we're only going to do it for a few seconds, and to soften your gaze and just scan into the body, or you can even just keep the eyes open, and bring attention, bring awareness to your fingers, your hands, your arms, your legs. Just start to be with the body. Maybe you want to start touching the skin. Does your skin feel soft, rough? How intimate can you be with your body? Mm. Next, we explore mindfulness of feelings and meditating on feeling being feelings, right? It kind of can sound confusing, but just recognizing that there are three types of feelings. We will have pleasant feelings, neutral feelings, and unpleasant feelings. And also recognizing that they may not all be together, these emotions or sensations that creates the feelings. So in one moment, you may be feeling pleasant. In another moment, you just may be feeling neutral. And in another moment, you may be feeling unpleasant. So when recognizing that, you understand with these waves of feelings that it too will come, it too will be there, and it will also pass. When we recognize the different waves of feelings, we come to an understanding that we can be with them in a non-judgmental way. And in some cases, we want to strive, or the case that we want to strive to be compassionate, gentle with all the experiences that we have, the feelings that we have. And can we really do that? And you can also notice if it's uncomfortable to be with those unpleasant feelings. And that's okay. That's okay if we're starting to feel um, uncomfortable and we're not ready to explore deeply into those feelings. But we can also recognize that that feeling is there for the moment and it will pass. That famous saying, "It too shall pass." It really holds some truth to it. And with this practice of being observant of that, we react less. We just allow these moment to moment feelings to be part of our experience. We strive to bring a sense of awareness, love and awareness to them. It takes practice because we've been conditioned to react, and especially reacting so quickly. So it definitely takes practice to watch each emotion and sensations and watch how they remain present and watch how they pass away and watch how we observe that these feelings creates impermanence. They will change. You'll have a really great day one day, and then the next you're not feeling so good, and that's just part of it, right? That's just part of our human experience. And that kind of like when I actually sat with that, it kind of made me feel a little bit more empowered because um, I kind of stepped away and detached myself from allowing these emotions to control me, these feelings to control me. I felt kind of trapped in them. And to be honest, sometimes I still react, but it comes more and more easier for me to just sit back, maybe take a walk, sit at my meditation cushion, journal, just do different things when I recognize these different types of feelings. So, with the practice, um, again, finding a comfortable seat, I want to practice with you all recognizing or knowing the feelings as they really are. So, what are your feelings right now? And recognizing if what you're feeling is pleasant, neutral, or unpleasant. And to help you dive deeper into this, you can ask yourself, what are you feeling? What am I feeling right now? Is what I'm feeling right now pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral? And with all the feelings, the pleasant, the unpleasant, or neutral, no matter what am I feeling, am I able to bring compassion to it? And if so, how does that change for me? We are at the third mindfulness, the third foundation of mindfulness. And the next one is mindfulness of mind. This is another, they're all important, but I feel personally that the mind for me has definitely orchestrated this experience for me for a very long time. It has been on the driver's seat for so long, and come into this section of the foundation of mindfulness has really been life changing for me, because we all have thoughts. I mean, when you think about consciousness and how the consciousness arises from moment to moment, it's based on so many different information. Excuse me. I want to take this in. Oh, work is throwing you off. I appreciate you for still tuning in, but do the best that you can. You know, work is necessary, but whatever you can take in, and it was probably meant for you to take that in. I would do my best to put the whole video up, but I'll be here again on next Tuesday. um, so yeah, just take in whatever you can um, from this moment. Hmm. So we're here at mindfulness of the mind, and knowing, being with that, being mindful of the mind has been one of my most challenging parts of this practice, because once again, my anxiety stems from the mind, right? All of the different things that I'm an overthinker. I'm still an overthinker. I've been doing way more, like just showing up right now. Kudos to me, because I can hide right in that corner and overthink and just create or allow myself to believe all of these thoughts that would prevent me to do the things that I'm doing now. And that has been my story for a very long time. But when consciousness arises from moment to moment, we have to understand they come from various information, right? We have our senses, what the we see, we smell, we speak, we hear, we taste, I meant to say, we feel, and all of that creates thought. Um, and then we have our, when we daydream, we're constantly visualizing, we're at work sometimes and we just go into deep thoughts. Just so many different things within ourselves and outside of ourselves that kind of um, influence the mind to create these thoughts. And that's a lot. When you really think about that, you know, the mind alone cannot exist. But there's states of the mind that appear dependent on our external and internal conditions. And we have had so many conditions that made the mind what it is today. And so when you hear that saying of reprogramming yourself, or like, I don't even like the word reprogramming, we're not robots, but striving to come back to your true nature, that nature, that natural, that pureness, that divineness, before all those conditions within and outside of yourself. What is that mind like? And even before we get to that place, we can learn through this practice to detach ourselves from our thoughts and say, okay, you've been driving way too long. Now it's time for you to get in that passenger seat, right? You cannot drive me along anymore. And a lot of times that's what it is. It's our thoughts are driving us. So for me, I don't believe that our thoughts are our enemy. I do believe that they can create or allow insights to come. It is the fact that we have allowed our mind to just continue to lead us. But we can, once again, being mindful of the mind is to be mindful of what thoughts are arising, understanding why they're arising, knowing that they will be here, they can remain for some time, and then they too shall pass. So we start to begin to see and recognize the cycle of mindfulness, right? I'm hoping I'm still a very young teacher in this path, but I'm hoping I'm making sense of this, that it's coming and penetrating into your spirit with some more clarity on mindfulness. Um, because when I started, I thought it was trying to like ignore certain things or stop thinking. And that's, I mean, ultimately, yes, we want to be these beings of light. Really, truly, I want to be a being of light, like just glowing. Um, and knowing how to just really not have any thoughts. Um, and that will come, that enlightenment, that level of enlightenment, because there are different phases, will come. But it's important to know not to judge yourself if you're thinking so much. I mean, come on, look at the world that we're living in right now, especially if we're on social media. There's constantly different beings sharing their opinion, sharing something to sell, sharing what they don't like, sharing what they like. And we kind of absorb that as well. That gets part of like embedded inside of us. So it is so important. I'm speaking. Hi, Boo. I'm speaking longer on this part, I guess, because if you can tell, like I have like a connection to this particular part because I had the mind control me for a very long time. So moving forward to being mindful of the mind, we want to recognize when our mind is distracted or focused. We want to recognize when it's happy or sad, when there's pleased or unpleased, when it's calm or irritated. We want to recognize if the mind is open or closed, connected, disconnected. Um, so just being with that and recognizing these different moments of the mind and these different thoughts that can come about. So, like we practice with the other two, we can practice being mindful of the mind. I'm going a little over, but that's okay. So, again, begin to soften your gaze or close your eyes completely and just being mindful of your mind. Recognizing, even in this very moment, as you're even listening to my words sound, recognizing if there are any thoughts that are arising for you. And what kind of thoughts are arising? What thoughts have been constantly arising for you? Does these thoughts make you more of a distracted person or focused person? Do they make you feel calm or irritated? Do these thoughts make you feel open or closed? Just recognizing the thoughts that arise. Breathing in and out, coming back into this space. Um, the fourth foundation of mindfulness is mindfulness of Dhamma. And I'll be honest, when I first was practicing mindfulness, this part was a little at first confusing to me, but I'm starting to understand it way more now. And again, mindfulness is very popular right now, especially here in the Western world. But also often it gets lost in it in recognizing the roots of the practice. So just going back, when I say Dhamma, it's truth to me. That's how I'm seeing it. And it's not only that we utilize the tools and the practices that Buddha created to help us alleviate suffering and um, going towards liberation and freedom, but it's also to recognize that everything you need to know about your own experience is within you, right? It's like you go through these different mindfulness foundations of mindfulness, and then you get to the fourth one. And it's like it's taking you on this journey so that you are able to get to this fourth one and you're able to be with yourself so long that you're able to say, everything that I need and have is here within me. Like the Buddha, many of us, including myself, um, we often seek outside of ourselves. I have. I have sought and sought all around seeking for the truth. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think a lot of people, I mean, even when you read in different spiritual texts, it's just something about us and the call in to want to grow in your spiritual journey. That's just something that happens. And it's pretty cool that, I've dived into many different things only to come back to the core of it all, which is me. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Um, so being mindful of that, knowing that everything you need to know about yourself is here. All the truths is here. It's that we use different tools to help us get to that recognition, to recognize that. When I was seeking outside of myself, and this is something that is often taught in this tradition, you recognize that other people are suffering like you in some capacity. Other people are having their moment to moment experience like you start to feel like really ultimately no one really can help you take away the suffering that you are experiencing. That is your responsibility. It does not mean that we cannot support each other, but really truly understanding that we ourselves are the heroes, are the ones that we are seeking to help us alleviate that suffering. And it is through practices, whether this practice calls you or some other practice, but there is a practice that can help you with guidelines and steps to help you alleviate that suffering. So our thoughts will be there. These unpleasantness will be there. These pains will be there. Illness will come, can come, not will, can. Uh, Death is inevitable. The decay, growth, understanding that I'm part of this birth and I rebirth a lot of times. Um, Understanding that one day I'll go back to the earth, and also understanding a lot of times that my suffering comes from aversion to change. Understanding that. So all of these things are in some cases, in most cases, out of our control. But what we can do is control how we react or connect or our experience with them. When you begin to connect and hold compassion for yourself and your experiences, you feel liberated. You feel liberated. You feel a sense of joy, and just recognizing what others are going through. You have compassion now, compassion for other people, compassion for yourself. You begin to feel so fulfilled within yourself that you can offer more love to other people, even those who have been not so pleasant. You can offer love to them because you're finding home, you're finding refuge, you're finding your resources within yourself. You're understanding truth about life, your own experience about life and what it means to you, and how you can have more pleasantness or be with whatever is arising, how you can be more present. There are going to be things in the body, on the body. There are going to be feelings. There are going to be thoughts. There are going to be so many things. We're going to travel and keep traveling on this beautiful, magical journey of ours, this life of ours. We're going to have heartaches. We're going to have full joy, and just learning to be with it all. This adventure of life, right? And there's so many other practices. As I continue to study myself with this and practice myself, I show up more to share these insights with you all. So before I close, I just want to share, give thanks, Ashe, Ashe. Before I close, I just want to share this poem by Lao, and it speaks to um, what about this inner sanctuary. So I don't have my glasses. Let me get a little closer. um, if there is to be peace in the world, there must be peace in the nations. If there is to be peace in the nations, there must be peace in the cities. If there is to be peace in the cities, there must be peace between neighbors. If there is to be peace between neighbors, there must be peace in the home. If there is to be peace in the home, there must be peace in the heart. I really love that. Um, how it starts here. It starts here. It starts to recognize how we need to have this peace and this love and compassion and gratitude and patience with this peace. I would definitely send it to you, sis, for sure. It starts here. We can allow this body of ours, this temporary body of ours, to be our inner sanctuary. We can have this temporary body to be a place of refuge. We can allow this body to store our resources and tools that we need when we have to go and find refuge. And it will take practice, but I'm here to reassure you that there is a practice out there that can help with that. Oh, thank you, Dad. um, and so before I close, I just want us to ground ourselves and sit for 3 minutes, not so long, and come together as we close. So, in this moment, um, again, find a comfortable position, a position that allows you to feel at ease, that allows the spine to be alert but not too rigid, allowing your hands to be placed wherever feels comfortable for you. and just start to begin to sink into the body, scan through the body. Using this time to be mindful of the body and how it feels, being mindful of your feelings. If your feelings are pleasant, neutral, or unpleasant, being mindful of the mind, your thoughts, and mindful of your inner truths. May we all be at peace. May we all be at ease. May we all be free from all internal and external harm. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be prosperous in all that we do. Begin to open your eyes and coming back into this space. Oh, I appreciate you, Alana. We got to get on the phone for sure. Long overdue. And I love you so much. I keep your self-love mantra by my bed. Oh, send me a picture. I want to see. But thank you. Thank you for showing up for yourselves. Thank you for holding space for me as I hold space for you. We're in this together. And if you have any questions, always feel free to send me a message. And if you, I will do better with promotion for sure. I say that every week. I'm being gentle and kind to myself regardless. But enjoy the rest of your evening, and may you continue to be present and loving to yourselves and to others. Okay. Bye. Peace.